So, Luke, another tough game on the horizon as we welcome Notts County to Meadow Park tomorrow evening. But we have plenty to build upon following back-to-back clean sheets and a really productive evening against Torquay on Saturday.
100%. I write in my programme notes, I honestly believe they've got the best squad available to them in the National League. They made 5 changes from the team that played against Halifax to the team that played against Woolstone. And the 5 changes doesn't change their sort of demeanour and the way they go and dominate teams. I felt they were very productive in some of the games that I've watched. I felt Halifax at times hurt them in certain areas, but I think they've got a great manager in Neil Ardley. You look at what he's done in terms of last year, taking them to the playoff final. You look what they've done in terms of getting to the semi-final of the trophy this year and currently sitting 4th. And they're on 24 games, I believe. And if they get a run together, sooner rather than later, they give themselves an outside chance. So, yeah, we're not foolish. We know exactly what they're going to offer up come Tuesday evening. Depends on what personnel they play, depends on what shape they go. But they've dovetailed from a 4-4-2 in a Kings Lynn game to a 4-2-3-1 in the Halifax game to a 3-5-2 in the Woolstone game. So it shows you the strength and depth he has available. The likes of Mark Ellis coming in from Tranmere on loan, scores on his debut on Saturday. So yeah, we're totally in acceptance in terms of how tough it's going to be tomorrow night.
And in terms of us then, although we fired a blank on Saturday, was it more unfortunate than not being clinical enough?
Yeah, I think we were good Saturday. I have to say, the telephone calls that I got in the car on the way home, the messages on Sunday from managers, assistant managers, coaches, friends that watched the game that said I felt we were dominant. I felt second half especially, we were very productive. The woodwork, got to speak to Ben to try and cut that down in terms of shaving the post to ensure that we can get a little bit of luck in terms of hitting the post and going in. But unfortunate for us that we're not hitting the back of the net with all our chances at the minute, because I think that we were more than enough to go and get a win on Saturday evening. That wasn't the case. Puts a little bit more pressure on tomorrow night's game against Notts County to get a win on the board. We've now drawn 5 of our last 6. Yeah, great. We've got 2 clean sheets in the Woking game and the Torquay game, and it's something that we've worked on tirelessly and the group's bought into. But yeah, we need to be a lot more productive in front of goal.
Obviously, like you said, tomorrow is a huge game and it presents us with the opportunity to go level on points with our opponents. And although they have a few games in hand, it's always good to have the points already on the tally.
Listen, they got 5 or 6 games in to go ahead of us, I believe. I think we sit in at 28 now, they're at 24. So, yeah, they're a good side. We need to ensure that we get our own house in order. We got 14 games. I spoke to the group today with regards to how and the return we need to get to give ourselves a chance of getting in the playoffs. And that run needs to start sooner rather than later. We need a December month where we went 6 games back-to-back with wins, and we need to do that as quick as possible, because I look at what competitions there is. Chesterfield go to Maidenhead on Saturday, and you're assuming a Chesterfield win. Maidenhead go and beat them 2-0. I said it and I say it again, there's been 3 teams consistent this year, and that's Sutton, in my opinion, Dover and Barnet. And all for the wrong reasons for the Barnets and Dovers of this world. But for Sutton, they've gone and won and been relentless, and they see themselves top of the table, and quite rightly. You look at Torquay, I think that's 2 wins in their last 9 or 10 games for a team that were dominating the league early on in the season. It was like, you ain't catching them. So we need to get our own house in order. Yeah, we got an opportunity to marry up with regards to the same points as Notts County on Tuesday evening. We went there and played them earlier on in the season. I thought we were excellent. I watched the game back yesterday and we clipped and loaded the game because how good we were on the evening. So we tried to put that into practice today's session to implement tomorrow. And if we play to the level we did at their place, we'll cause them problems. But it's tough to go and do the double over anyone in the National League. We find that week in, week out. So, yeah, we know our work's cut out tomorrow night, but we'll be fully prepared and organised to go and get 3 points.
Like you said, a brilliant away win at Meadow Lane at Notts County with a 1-0 win thanks to a Fifield goal. A lot's been made this season of our home form versus our away form, but we've played 4 less games at home and we need 10 points to sort of marry up the 2 and get level on points. So has that criticism maybe come a little bit too early?
No, so I think what are we, second or third in the National League for away form? I think teams that, the likes of Hartlepool, I saw a stat with Dave Challoner's side, I think they've won their last 7 at home. And look where they're sat now in the table. They're right amongst it. And we always say, managers, chairmen, CEOs, players, to get your home form right and your away form will look after itself. You go on the road to pick up your points, to pick up your odd wins, but you're fundamentally at home to win your games of football. We've sort of flipped that, but we've been very indifferent at home. Our goals for tally at home isn't good enough, and it's something that we spoke about. And I can't say we're not creating the chances. I got sent again all the stats from Elliot Alum, who's our analyst, for expected goals, final third entries, possession. We're ranking in the top 5 across the National League on a lot of stats. And it's so frustrating because we are painting great pictures. We are getting in some very good areas, but we're not putting them to the sword. And that's something that we have addressed and we've spoken about, and it's something that we need to get on top of. And like I said, we've got 14 games remaining this season. We need to put 2 points per game to give ourselves a chance to get in the playoffs. That's just me being honest and putting our cards on the table. That's exactly the return that we need to ensure that we get a playoff spot. So no better time to go and do it against Notts County tomorrow evening. A tough test. I keep alluding to it. I think he's a fantastic manager, fantastic bloke. I think he's got a great squad, and they're going to come here and want to do what we did to them at their place. And we need to make sure that we're right on it. If we play to the levels that we can do, like we showed live on the box, the second half, especially against Torquay, who are second in the table, we'll give ourselves a great chance of getting 3 points.
Like you say, both sides come into the game on similar form. In the last 5 games, I believe both teams have the same goals for and goals against. And both teams are more than capable.
100%. Listen, I love his squad. I think he's got a great squad. It's been tough for him because he's had a condensed season. They've had a great run in the trophy. When you go to Meadow Lane, no disrespect, it's probably the best stadium in the National League, in my opinion. When I went there, you're in awe to an extent. You walk out behind the goal now because of their new changing facilities. But it's a 22,000 seater. I wouldn't mind having his job. It's an unbelievable accolade from Neil Ardley to manage a club of that size. But clubs go there with the mentality to go and put on a performance. We need to ensure we have that same mentality, that same approach to the game to ensure that we get 3 points on Tuesday evening. No disrespect to Torquay's form, our form, or Notts County's form. It's about what we do. It's how we get our house in order. We need wins. Bottom line, we're drawing too many games. Can you say that we deserve more at Willstone? Yes. Solihull, yes. Saturday, yes. But unfortunately, the footballing gods are not on our side at the minute. We need to turn that luck around by working harder and smarter. We work hard and we work smart throughout the week, and we need to implement the game plan that's been asked of the boys tomorrow. A bit of luck, yeah, of course, but we need to ensure that we're ready, we're prepared, and we're organised to get 3 points.